Hey everybody, this is Dr. Zarina. I'm here back with you this Sunday. Come on into the broadcast. Come on into the broadcast. We have a couple of things we want to talk about today. Specifically, if you're going to be following my Instagram this week, is we want to talk a little bit about probiotics and what about it? What about it, right? So first of all, let me reintroduce myself for those who don't know me. I am Dr. Zarina. I am also known as Dr. Z, your sports medicine integrated medicine specialist, here to help you rebound your life, rebound your health, and help you ultimately through my programs, through my different consulting services, my medical practice, and other resources to help you ultimately obtain your pain freedom. Okay, so welcome to the broadcast. Come on in. I'll wait maybe a minute or two, to get everybody situated and get on into the broadcast. When you get on in, go ahead and share it. Hopefully this information is going to be helpful to you or someone else. You never know. So when you come on in, introduce yourselves. Tell everybody, hey, hi, Dr. Ishana. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and please hit share, and we'll be able to some other people that may need this information, and this may be very helpful. Actually, while I'm waiting 1 minute, I'm going to go ahead and share to, let's see, if I can share it as well while I'm here. All right. So welcome to the broadcast. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. We're going to talk a little bit about probiotics and what about it? What about it? Why is it important? Is it important? Should I be taking it? Maybe you actually are taking it already. Maybe you use probiotics in your health, in your regular regimen right now, and you don't really realize it's a probiotic. And I actually do want to touch a little bit on even the prebiotics. So we'll kind of touch on that a little bit, and we'll kind of mention what's important about that. Why is that a big deal, or is it a big deal? And maybe also find out if you're actually utilizing that already too. So you may actually be having that in your body already. And also want to know how does the prebiotics and probiotics potentially help each other, okay? So we got about maybe another 60 to 90 seconds, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. I don't wanna take up too much time of your Sunday today. Again, it's gonna be kind of in and out, but I think it's important information as we take ourselves on into the Monday, into the week. Some kind of important things that if you're not doing them, it's always kind of like, things that kind of help us jumpstart our week in a very healthy and helpful way that's going to benefit our bodies, right? To use it as energy. We talked a little bit about the importance of our body in terms of it being utilized as energy, and this is kind of I guess you could say an extension of that in many ways. So come on into the broadcast. Come on into the broadcast. I got about 30 to 45 seconds, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you. Hey there. Hey there. I can't see what your name is, but I can see somebody just joined us. So come on into the broadcast, and we're going to get started in about 40 seconds. Yeah, if you're there, I can kind of see you. I know that somebody's there, but I can't see your name. So just say hello. I can say hi back, and I'll know you're there. That way we can interact with each other. I may have a few pop quizzes, questions today to make it a little interactive. I like to do that to kind of make sure that you guys are engaging and you're really kind of getting it. It's really sinking in. So once you're here, just give me a holler, and I will holler back, okay? Hey, I see that there. Okay, so let me reintroduce myself again for those who didn't hear the very, very beginning of this broadcast. I am Dr. Zarina, also known as Dr. Z, your sports medicine integrative medicine specialist, here to help you ultimately rebound your health through my different programs, consulting services, speaking engagements, other resources and medical practice. I help you ultimately attain pain freedom. And that pain freedom sometimes is physical, sometimes internal. Bring it all together from a holistic perspective and help you obtain your pain freedom. Whatever that may be, that's what I'm going to be here to bring you guys tips and just better knowledge so that you can better take care of yourselves. And I'm here as your coach, so to speak, that wants you to be the MVP of your life and of your health, okay? So, hi, Nicole. Thanks for joining. Go ahead and click share. So if this information might be helpful to someone, then, go ahead. They might find benefit. So hopefully, again, we're going to jump right into it. So what about probiotics? Anybody out there listening right now, do you actually know a probiotic? Hi, Elaine. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Come on into the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Wanted to make sure that we talk a little bit about probiotics today, and ultimately, what is a probiotic? Some people say, well, I think I know what that is. Most people think of yogurt when they think of probiotics, right? That is an example. Yogurt can have probiotics and little or a lot, depending on the type of yogurt that you use. But let's start with the definition. What is a probiotic? Essentially, in layman's terms, a probiotic is bacteria. It's bacteria that's found in our gut that is naturally there, but sometimes can be compromised based on our external forces, based on our health status, based on what we're eating or not eating. That can be impacted, and that can impact our gut. And that obviously is going to then in turn impact our bacteria. The good bacteria and the bad bacteria, we hear about that. So probiotics' goal is basically to optimize your health and optimize your health and optimize your overall immune system, quite frankly, so that you can better help your gut. And it goes beyond that, though, and that's what this conversation really is about. So ultimately, when we think about probiotics, we think, it's going to help me with my digestive system, which is actually true. However, other health benefits that also overall decreases inflammation in our entire body. It can also help with weight management or weight loss because of the bloating effect that happens when you're not adequately having enough probiotics in your body. It also can help with increased energy. Some people have what they call chronic fatigue, and you may be someone who's suffering from that and don't even realize it. And it actually may even be that you're impacted by the fact that you have low gut health. Like you don't have enough probiotics, good bacteria in your gut to ultimately help your overall system so that you don't have that chronic fatigue. So that can be very, very impactful. And for some of you who think, I think I have chronic fatigue, you actually want to go see your physician or give us a call, as well as our practice, and you can find us on our website to maybe try to identify that's something that you may be suffering from or someone that you know that may be suffering from that, okay? Also, sometimes some different skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis. Hey, Dr. Hi, Nicole. Hi. Just started probiotics and saw a difference in my tummy. Absolutely. I'm sure. And after traveling to Mexico, something just wasn't right and the probiotics helped me. Absolutely. That's a great testament because that's real talk right there. So thank you for sharing that with those who are just joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Go ahead and click share, hopefully, and this could be helpful to someone else. So yes, like I said, it could be different skin conditions as well that could be affected by the lack of thereof. Joint conditions, especially when it comes to like autoimmune type of diseases, can be affected by the lack thereof, as well as we talked about energy, we talked about your overall immune system. Something really key and important that I don't think the average person knows. Hey, Michael. Hey, Ramona. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Come on in. Sharing is caring, so go ahead and click share. You can also scroll down to the notifications and hit notifications so you'll be able to be updated with any further information as it comes along. At any rate, most people don't realize that 70–80%, that's a big number, right, of our immune system is found, what do you think, in our gut. People don't really think about the immune system and think about their large intestine, right, or their small intestine. They don't think about that. But indeed, 70–80% of our immune system is actually in our gut. So you can appreciate maybe how critical and why this important conversation today is an important conversation. Because indeed, when you talk about inflammatory responses or immune system and how that goes over and affects every other system in your body, and 70–80% of that is responsible in your gut, then you probably want to have a healthy gut, right? So the reason why this conversation isn't just about the gut, as you can hear now, that's why probiotics is not just about healthy gut or not having diarrhea, which, that's kind of probably the primary reason. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Dr. Ashar. Thank you for watching us. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast. It's very interesting, right? Exactly. I don't think that the average person realizes that, but that indeed is the case. That's the science behind that. Okay, so we talked about the definition. We talked about what it helps. The other thing that you want to know is when you take an antibiotics, and some of you know this, some of you don't, again, if it's redundant or information you've heard before, reminding yourself this is very critical. Hi, Dee Dee. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Hi, Sherman. Thank you to the broadcast. Hi, Stacy. Thank you to the broadcast. Thank you guys for coming in. Go ahead, click share, 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 share. So this information can be useful as you jump into your week. You can have this information as well as someone that you love and care about can have this information. So again, we are talking about probiotics. What about it? Why is it important? Is it important? What else? And what should we do about it and how to implement that so we can have a better health and optimize our health, okay? So we talked about definition. We just said that. We talked about uses in terms of how is it affecting our body and the benefits that we can get, in particular when it comes to inflammation and the immune system. And that goes beyond just the gut, okay? Again, I'm going to repeat it because I think that was an important point, that 70 to 80% is kind of close to that 75% maybe of our immunity responsible is in our gut. That's critical. And we don't think about that as the average American. I don't think we think about that. So even when it comes to common cold and flu, when you're in that flu season, you want to make sure, are you adequately giving yourself enough probiotics so that your immune system can be optimized as well, right? You think about that. You might think about the over-the-counter stuff that are not related to the gut per se, because you think about respiratory or cold, you think about all this up here. But you got to make sure that you're also having the good probiotics in your body so to make sure that you can optimize them as well. Hi, Akila. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Just click share down below, notifications, and you can go ahead and share this information as well. So getting down to the nitty-gritty of what can I do about it? Well, one thing I would say initially, starting off what you do about it, is the prebiotics. What are prebiotics, right? No one really talks about that part of it. Prebiotics are essentially things that you're probably doing already. Things like you may use onions in your food. You may use broccoli. You may use tomatoes. They're basically foods that, and it can vary, but it's different, basically healthy food, okay? Raw, healthy food that's going to set up your system to promote the gut health so that the probiotics can do its thing most effectively. So when you are eating already pretty clean, they say clean eating, that's going to, hi, Shanika, thanks for joining us. Hi, Christina, thanks for joining us. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Click it. Oh, I'm still here. I hope it was a bad connection. I think it was a bad connection. I mean, I hope it was a bad connection. Hi, April, thanks for joining us. So some examples of probiotics that you can be using are such things as sauerkraut. Anybody like sauerkraut? Hit sauerkraut. When I give you guys some tips about what things are, if somebody or one or two of you can actually in the comment section the different things I'm shouting out to you, that'll be helpful because when somebody comes back to watch this video, as they're going along, they might want to take notes. They can already see that you guys are taking the notes for them, and that's going to be really helpful to kind of reinforce this information. So an example would be sauerkraut. Another example would be, we heard about the yogurt. Yogurt does have varied probiotics in it, but quite frankly, it's not necessarily the most potent. It is the most advertised and the most marketed, but it's not necessarily the most potent. And also things like kimchi, we talked about sauerkraut. Sauerkraut, the way I like to prepare that is with maybe some organic chicken sausage or something to that effect. Or you might just use it as a side dish. That can be helpful as well. But when you basically bring that in, because it has a lot and various types of different probiotics. So that's why that's so critical. Hi, Nooni. Hi, DeQuisha. Dr. DeQuisha, thank you for joining us. Hi, Tony. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and click share. This information may be helpful to someone else. So sauerkraut, that's one way that you can prepare that. Kimchi is a kind of an Asian cousin, if you will, of the sauerkraut, and been used for billions of years, quite frankly. And the idea behind the sauerkraut, the kimchi, and the tempeh, which is a kind of another version of those people who are trying to maybe avoid actual meat. Tempeh is a protein that is used and actually fermented too, that is a probiotic and can help with your immune system, as we just talked about. I know I have some questions. Hi, April. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. I had some people. Hi, Dr. LaQuisha. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, please click share. Sharing is caring. Maybe this information is helpful, and thank you for coming to the broadcast. That sometimes I had some questions last week that asked me, do I have any examples of basically non-meat? Because I do have some vegetarians who follow me, and I appreciate you guys because I'm always going to make sure I give you alternatives so that you can optimize your health as well that are not necessarily meat-based. And so tempeh could be a good example of that, and that can be very helpful, okay? Tempeh is an example of that, so those of you who are looking for something that's non-meat-based, probiotic, we talked about that, the protein, that's going to be really helpful. What's another example? Pickles, believe it or not, they're fermented. So the idea is you can kind of hear from what I'm saying. Pickles, sauerkraut, somebody type that in, sauerkraut, kimchi. These examples are actually fermented. And from the beginning of time, you guys, really from the beginning of your time, this has been used. There's a big boom in the industry right now where they have supplements in the form for probiotics, which is fine. I do have some in my cabinet as well, but I also use it in the form of food. And you guys know me. Food is medicine. I like it how it comes out the earth the best. That is the best way to optimize your health, rebound your health, ultimately obtain your pain freedom. That's what I'm here for you for. Hi, Dr. Quisha. Thank you, sauerkraut. Yes, thank you so much. Pickle. Thank you, Dr. Lakeisha. Yes, yes, yes. So adding those in. Hi, Ayana. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Go ahead and click share, share, share. And kimchi and things like that. Those are great examples because at the end of the day, that is how we come from, right? So you want to try to give your body the best, ultimately, right? And that doesn't mean supplements are bad, because obviously I use supplements as well. But what I'm impressing upon you is that it's critical that you try your best to implement medicine, preventative medicine, and even trying to treat yourself, so to speak, through the food. Food is medicine indeed, okay? So that's extremely important. So we talked about kimchi, we wrote that down. Thank you guys for typing that stuff in. We talked about yogurt, we said sauerkraut, pickles even, tempeh, kombucha. I actually like to keep that in my cabinet, kombucha tea. That's really, really great because it has a lot of various strains of the probiotics, and the more strains, the better, because you're gonna get that variety. And the big thing is that our food, y'all. Our food is often, when the chicken is running around in the pen before, you know, they come to the grocery store, if it gets sick, what do you think they give them? They're gonna give them an antibiotic, right? Can you take probiotics when you're pregnant? You can't take probiotics when you're pregnant. Can you take probiotics when you're pregnant? Ask your OBGYN. So I always preface that because there are certain conditions, medical conditions, where it's not going to be to your advantage to take them in a certain way. So you do have to be, you know, careful about that. I'm a physician, so I'm going to definitely always keep it straight to you and ethical. Without knowing your complete medical history, I do always tell people this information I always give you it is in general, okay? And most of these general rules are going to apply to pretty much anybody and everybody. But yes, it is safe in most pregnancies to just check with your OB/GYN. So that's a great question. Great question. Where did I lose my thought? I think so we're basically talking about the different examples. So that's really, really critical that you make sure that you check with the physician, yes, before you do any of these things. But indeed, those are great, great examples. Kimchi, yogurt, we talked about that, sauerkraut. Let me go to the questions because I see a lot of questions popping up. I don't want to get, thank you, Dr. Nicole, for joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Click share, share, share. Sharing is caring, and hopefully this information become useful and helpful for some of you. So here's a question. How important is it to incorporate probiotics to a child's diet, ideally age 5 to 6? It actually is still very, very important. Great question. And again, I highly advise it through food and less through supplementation, like the supplement pills with the children. You can find them in the health food stores where they have like children probiotics in kind of like bottles. Of course, bacteria is live, and so it has to be alive for it to be effective. You have to consider shelf life. And when the probiotics are produced in the lab, they have to kind of overpopulate that product, right? So that by the time it gets to you, it still technically has enough probiotics that it's going to be effective. The reason why that's critical is because you still don't really know. The FDA doesn't necessarily regulate that because it's still that supplement world. They don't regulate that, so you don't always know 100% sure. A probiotic, I don't have any stock in it or stocks or bonds in it, but the probiotic that I actually do like is called, what is it called? Prescript Assist. And it has over 29 different strains, and I find it to be effective. You can actually probably find it on Amazon. I think it has, you know, myself included, lots of great reviews because of the effectiveness. And a lot of physicians, and I actually recommend that to a lot of my patients. So that's a great question. But yes, to that question about children, please try to implement these different foods I'm talking about. Yeah, it'll be a little different, but if you get excited about it, the kids generally will get excited about it too. And again, with children, sometimes you have to try more than once, or you just switch it up a little bit until they get the hang of it, that they're kind of like it's not going anywhere. So just because you introduce it to your children one time and they're like, no, doesn't mean they won't try it eventually. So when they see you enjoying it and you're excited about it, they will get excited about it. Yogurt is probably one of the easiest ones to do with children. Again, I would just preface that, you know, try to read the labels and make sure it has a good variety of strains in it so that you can maximize the benefit from it. Okay, it's a great question. Next question. I do the sauerkraut because it is easy to eat and easy to get. Absolutely. I love it too. Hi, Mr. Ling. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Dr. Nicole. Thank you for joining us. Let me see if I can scroll, get another question. Can you take that one? I want to make sure I get all your questions, everybody. Thanks you for interacting, everybody. Great questions, great questions. Okay. I think I got through all the questions. If I didn't, I'll get to you guys at the toward the end of this broadcast. Yeah, hi, Dr. Steiner. Thank you for joining us. Hi, babies. Okay, that wasn't part of the broadcast, but this is my TV. Okay, mwah. Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Mommy said, Mommy gotta go. Bye, Mommy.
Okay, bye-bye, girls.
Bye-bye.
Well,
Bye-bye.
that's live TV for you, live broadcasting. Any further questions? But that's the base of it. So the in summary, because again, we want to keep it short, but we want to keep it impactful. In summary, the idea is that what is probiotic? Probiotic is good bacteria that your body naturally produces that actually is important for your health. It's been there at the beginning of times in different foods, mostly fermented foods, and is critical for your overall immune system, not just to prevent diarrhea, but especially if you're on antibiotics or you just finished antibiotics, you should definitely make sure that you're reintroducing probiotics into your system, because what the antibiotics does is they cut out everything. They're trying to kill the bad bacteria and the good bacteria. So when you do our antibiotics and you just finish them and you aren't eating things that have probiotics in it, you may further have issues or increased cold flu-like symptoms, or you feel like you get sick a lot, the chronic fatigue, eczema, rash, psoriasis, things like that. They're big on things like that. So you just want to make sure that if you're on an antibiotic, you just finished one, try to introduce some good bacteria into your body through the probiotics, and that's going to really help you a lot. Pickles, yes, ma'am, pickles. That was one we talked about earlier today. Did you say Prescript Assist is the brand that you recommend? I do. I don't have any stock in it. I do use it personally. Yes, Miss knowing that. So yes, that is the one I'm referring to. You can and you actually, yeah, that's the exact one that I'm talking about. I do use that one, and I do recommend it to my patients usually because I found benefit from them. Patients come back and give me good feedback about it. I don't have any stock in it, like I said, but it's just something that I have used. Okay, definitely good question. Good question. Pickle, sauerkraut. Yes, Dr. DeFreezer, thank you so much. And then kimchi, you can try those things. Tempeh for some other people. Kefir. Kefir is K-E-F-I-R. Somebody can type that in. Kefir, K-E-F-I-R, is something that some people use kind of like the cousin of yogurt. It's a little more tart than yogurt, but it's great in your smoothies. If you're a smoothie person or you want to introduce smoothies into your life, that one has actually way more probiotics than even basic yogurt. And your children will enjoy that one too. You can put different fruit in it, granola, make it interesting, make it fun, make it exciting, because again, if it's colorful, you're going to be more excited about it, your kids will be more excited about it, and it's going to be overall better for the whole family. So yes, kefir is another good one. And kombucha tea. Kombucha tea, I keep that in my pantry for the most part. I'm pretty sure I still have them out right now. I'm going to go back and get some soon. Kombucha tea is really high potent as well as in probiotics. So somebody wrote that down, kombucha. Hi, Dr. Melba. Thank you for joining us. Kombucha is K-O-M-B-U-C-H-A, kombucha tea. Yes, kefir, yes, especially in smoothies for kids. Exactly. I told you, like your kids like them, Jamila. I know that for the most part, love kefir. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So these are just great examples, and they're food, right? They're not a pill. Some people don't like pills. I'm kind of one of those people, honestly. So if I can get it through something that I can drink or eat, that's going to be the better. And quite frankly, that's the way we were made. The supplements, when they make them in the lab, I have supplements. Like I said, I'm not a supplement knocker because I do supplements as well. But you know me, I'm going to try to make sure that you guys get it as natural and basic as possible, because the idea here is it's not that hard. We kind of decided to create this narrative in our minds that it's difficult to introduce these things. But here I am to tell you that it's not that difficult. I'm going to be here with you, giving you more videos, my consulting services, my medical practice, and that's part of what I do in there. I'm in there strategizing with you. Every time you tell me I can't, I'm going to tell you how you can. And I'm going to give you what's going to work for you in your life. That's what this is all about, because I want to see you win. Y'all are my MVP. You're your own MVP. So that's what's so crucial. This is what this is all about, okay? Next question, I want to start making some homemade kefir. Oh, girl. Let me know how that works out for you, because I want to know too if you figured out or not. I haven't done it. I have not made my own. But yes, Dr. Melba, please share that with me when you do. I would love that. I would love that. I would love that. All right, thanks so much, guys, for joining. I think that's wrapped up the time here. We went over at least twice, right? We kind of concluded and summarized what we were here for, what are probiotics, why they're important, what are the things that you don't have in your body, what impact that can have on your body in a negative way. 78% of your immune system is where? Somebody yell it out, because we said it at least 3 times probably. 78% of your your immune system is found where? Anyway, you might be typing, but it's in your gut. That is the shocker, right? Because you might think of your, somewhere else, but it's not actually. Most of that is in your gut. So that's really, really crucial. Can you speak on heart health next time? Heart health. Yes, I can definitely speak on some heart health issues as it relates to the things that I do. That's a good question. I will definitely put that on the list. We got a running list there, but Dr. Ms. Jamari, gut. Yes, definitely. Yes, everybody got it right. Y'all all get 100%. A plus. Y'all are very good interacting, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining this broadcast. Click down on the notifications. If you hit notification, you'll be notified when I'm going to come on next week, and we're going to continue this conversation. Just to say, yes, heart health is crucial in what we're talking about, so I will add that to the list so that we can make sure we cover some of those topics as well. Love you guys. Mwah. Thanks for joining. Share it. Sharing is caring. And I'll see y'all next week. Again, I am Dr. Zarina, also known as Dr. Z, here to help you rebound your health and ultimately attain pain freedom. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's physical, but here we're going to help you rebound your health and ultimately attain your pain freedom through my consulting services, the medical practice, speaking engagements, and other various products. That is what I'm going to be here to do. Bring it to you so that you can win. Y'all are the MVP. So I'm going to see you guys next week. Don't forget to follow me on www.facebook.com/DRZARINAH. That's Dr. Zarina. See you guys next week. Mwah.